Hello, I want to show you how to make a gun like the ones we use in Gunlight. They all use a central gun system which is really easy to understand. As long as your weapon is using hit scanning, it should work, like Swingley's. So you can see that it actually manages all of the muzzle flashes, the sounds, the impact effects, all on its own, and those are actually built using a modular system which you can actually extend yourself. So let's switch to Smooth POV, and I'll show you how we've managed this. So the only tool you're going to need for this process is the developer tooltip right here under the essential tools. So you want to spawn that in and put that on your shelf or equip it, doesn't really matter to me. And the gun, you're going to need a mesh, a model to start with, and a gun base, something to build your gun from. And we have one of those available in the Polylogic's public tools. So you can double click on that and you'll see it right here. It's the gun base, and this might move later on. We might be putting it in a world, probably with other gun systems, but for right now, it's just here. So you want to equip your developer tooltip, and we're going to start by switching out the visual of this and replacing it with this. So to do that, we're going to select the gun base by pointing our laser and pressing the secondary action, opening up the radial menu, scrolling over and double-clicking, or actually not double-clicking, just clicking Open Inspector, pressing this button at the top to go to the root. And right here's the visual. We want to expand the visual and replace this right here with this. So to do this, we're going to select this, same process, open radial menu, open inspector, press this button to go to the root, and you want to drag this slot from here over and parent it under the visual. Now we can close this inspector right here, bring this one over, and delete the old visual by selecting it, pressing this button right here. Now we want to double click on this to select it and reset its position, rotation, and scale. Now you want to make sure that the blue arrow is pointing to the forward direction of the gun base, and we can check that by double clicking on the gun base. You can see the blue arrow matches with the blue arrow of the visual. If it doesn't, rotate it, and if you don't like the scale, you should probably set its scale right now. Now we can remove the grabbable and the object root of this, and we can set up the fire point. So you want to double click on the fire point under here and reposition this by pressing on this blue square and moving it around to about where you think is appropriate. Deselecting and going ahead, and we can actually just test this right now. So if we test it, you can see that the muzzle flash isn't quite in the right place. Everything else seems to be working though. So what we can do now is we can go into the extensions. This is where you can manage all of these different effects and even build your own effects using an API that is built into the gun system. So we want to go under muzzle effects and double click on muzzle flash. And we can reposition this the same way we did with the fire point and move this to somewhere that you feel is appropriate. Deselect, and now the muzzle flash should be in a more appropriate position. As you can see, it is. But that's about all you're going to need to make a gun your own, and it should be enough to get you started. I'm going to be making more tutorials on how to build your own gun modules in the future, but as of right now, you can have fun.